guys? Happy Wellness Wednesday. I am so excited because today I get to bring you an amazing special guest to talk to us about her experience through her hormonal journey, as well as a really incredible way of supporting your hormone balance, and that is with essential oils. So I am absolutely delighted to be able to introduce you to Ros. How's it going?
Hi, thank you very much for having me here. Really excited to be able to share with the ladies. So, yeah, a little bit about me. I've been using the essential oils for, oh gosh, I started in 2018. Um, Absolutely love the oils, and any opportunity I get to share them and the amazing impact they can have on our health and well-being, I'll take it. Absolutely. So, yes, so, yep, great to be here. So, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. So, what I would love to start off with is your hormonal journey. So, when you started going into perhaps your perimenopausal years, how that affected you, what were your symptoms, and then really leading into how you ended up finding out about essential oils and really the power that they have in balancing your hormones.
Sure, absolutely. So for me, gosh, I think my journey started probably fairly early. I'd say 42, 43. Um, and even before that, I'd had really quite heavy periods, but they would last kind of the normal duration of up to 5 days. But as time went on, they just seemed to get heavier and heavier. And I think the worst one I had was like 21 days. It just
Oh,
went on and on and on. And I was so often caught short. It was just awful. Um, and I know early on, a doctor in the UK had given me, I don't think what it was, it's Stopane or something like that, which I took for a couple of days before, as soon as my period started. Take that was supposed to kind of constrict the blood vessels so the bleeding wouldn't be as heavy. Um, but we moved to Prague, so that wasn't available to me anymore. And the doctors there said, "You're too young. You're not going through anything like that." Um, so yeah, so for me, what did I have? The really heavy periods, insomnia, like no, but which was horrendous. Probably easily 12 years of that, if not more. Um, did manage to get hold of sleeping pills, but the only problem with those is they were very addictive, and I would hallucinate taking them as well, which was awful.
whoa.
So that wasn't great. So definitely wouldn't recommend going down that route again, for anybody, to be fair. What else did I have? Then I found for me the hot flushes. I could literally tell you it was 12 minutes past the hour at some point, at one point. 12 minutes past, isn't it? 12 minutes past, isn't it? Because they would come that regularly for a while. But what I did find triggered those was processed sugar and alcohol. 100%, that would make them so much worse. Even now, if I have one of those days where I'm just craving sugar, I will actually probably wake up at night, even having gone through menopause completely now, hot, you know, that comes through again. And I think the insomnia was probably a good thing, because if I was sleeping and I had one of them, I'd wake up and the whole bed would be saturated. It would be so wet. It was just horrendous. So I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. One of the things I wish I'd known then that I know now is how damaging the everyday products we use, skincare, cleaning products, laundry products, how bad those are for our hormones and how disrupting they are. So now I'm much more mindful of what I use. I've not used fabric softener probably in about 5-6 years now, if not more. I will use a lot of the doTerra oils for cleaning. We do have some great products, especially the On Guard, which is our protective blend, which is really great. So I definitely use those. I was offered HRT once we moved back to the UK. I was just before I turned 50. And I can remember looking up the one that they'd given me the prescription for, and listed almost as long as your arm with side effects. And I thought one of the worst was migraines. I already suffered with migraines horrendously anyway. And I thought, do I really want to take this? So I went to the pharmacist and I said, what is the likelihood of these making it worse? Highly unlikely, highly unlikely. So, I got the prescription, brought it home, and I sat with it for a few days and I never took it.
Mm.
I just didn't feel it was worth it. So I kind of battle through on my own, really. And I think a lot of the things that we go through as women, you start questioning yourself. That's what I found, questioning myself, questioning my worth as a woman. Because you go through all of these changes and the hormones, the balance is all over the place. So yeah, I think that's, for me, what I know now also about pharmaceutical drugs, even over the counter stuff, everything has a side effect. They all have side effects, and which is what I love about the oils is they don't have. There are no side effects unless you're allergic to something like cinnamon or that sort of thing. Excuse me. You're pretty safe with these, and they are incredibly potent. For example, 1 drop of the doTerra peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea.
And I love peppermint tea, but that's still a lot of tea,
I
even
know,
for
it's
me.
incredible. It is. So the power of those is really amazing. And the fact that because of their purity, we're able to internalize them, which is what I love. And I do internalize oils every single day.
I love that. So let's
Without
go
doubt.
back a little
Yeah.
bit, because I want to know, how did you even find out about essential oils, and how did that discovery process go in terms of implementing it for your hormones, or for, living in a cleaner environment?
Yeah. So for me, it was a friend introduced me to it. She was recommended some oils to help for her dad, who had been diagnosed with frontal lobe dementia. And they noticed quite a big difference with using frankincense, rosemary, and those kind of things. Because, beg your pardon, one of the beauties of these oils is they're able to cross the blood-brain barrier. They can impact the chemistry of the brain and impact the hormones as well, through even just sometimes smelling them, but definitely internalizing or using them topically absolutely can have that impact. So for me, my friend Charlie introduced me to them. One was to help with the severe head tension. I have to be careful, mindful of my language. Also, not sleeping properly. That was another thing. I was just generally feeling a bit, just having probably about 18 months that side of menopause by then. So for me, it was a lot of kind of being more mindful of what I was putting into my body and what I was using in the home, and just wanting to go cleaner and not be so tied into these horrible products that I'd been using all my life and not even giving a second thought about.
Yeah.
So that was the journey for me. Gosh, it made such a difference. It really did. Sleeping better, not getting that severe head tension I'd been getting, and also adding lemon oil to my water every day was just so cleansing. And it helps with so many things. And the beauty of the lemon oil, because it comes from the rind, you've got no impact on your teeth, enamel, or anything like that. And it's very alkaline. So it's really good for the body.
So many benefits. I love it.
So many.
Okay, so
They
I
are
think this
great.
leads us into a really good question, which is, what are some of your favorite essential oils, perhaps for hormone balance or for general use daily, and why do you love them?
So I'd say lemon 100%, just because it wakes you up. It's the oil of focus as well. I really love lemon. It's cleansing. I have it in my water in the morning when I'm taking my supplements and stuff as well. I generally will have it a lot of times throughout the day, because it is just, especially that afternoon slump. The lemon, and also then the peppermint and wild orange, for me, is a game changer. I think you've had the peppermint and wild orange. Have you had the WAP bomb, as we call it? Peppermint and wild orange bomb.
Well,
So
those
that is
are, go ahead.
brilliant for that afternoon slump, or I love to use it as well if we're on a long car journey and you need to stay awake. It's brilliant to waking yourself up with that. So yeah, so those are the 3 that I would say always have those in the home. Another one is lavender, because it's very calming. Very good for blisters too. It dries out blisters. I can attest to that many times. 2 others I'd say 100% to have would be copaiba, which is the doTERRA equivalent of a CBD oil. None of the funny hallucinogenic effects at all. It comes from 5 different trees in the Amazon, so sometimes it's not available because DoTerra is also very sustainable in how they source. But it works on the endocannabinoid system and pretty much will impact all systems of the body. So that for me is like a daily thing. I'll take a drop under the tongue, or we also have soft gels, which are nice to take as well. So that's one I'll do, drop under the tongue, and also the first sign of any head tension, I'll take it as well. Drop under the tongue, and then I will put a drop of frankincense on the thumb and hold it on the roof of my mouth and take 3 or 4 nice big deep breaths, and it instantly gets into the system. So frankincense is pretty much for all things calming. Taken internally diffused, used topically, brilliant for skincare as well, adding it to your nice clean moisturizers. Finding those is essential. For me early on, Serenity was a blend, which was a game changer for me, helping me with sleep. The only thing is, over time, if you take it too much, it can sometimes not have the same effect. So it's also good to have a break, which I'm actually in the process of doing at the moment. But then we've got vetiver, lavender, cedarwood. There's so many others that you can take as well, which help. One of the oils that I would say anybody at any age, especially if you're still having your monthly cycle, is to use the Clary Calm blend. So it's brilliant for balancing hormones. What I would say though is don't take it if you're pregnant, because clary sage will bring on labor. So if you're at the end and you're wanting to bring it on, by all means go ahead and use it, but not up until that point in time. So that's a really good one. So if you're wanting to use that just to help keep the monthly cycle, things flowing smoothly, just from one ovary to the other, just sort of draw a smiley face with the roll-on bottle across the abdomen. Really good to help. My daughter does use it. It's really very helpful. One thing I stopped doing when I started using the oils was wearing perfume, because there's so much horrible stuff in them. So a fantastic oil blend that we have is called Whisper, and it's all about femininity. It's a beautiful blend. It really is very floral. What has it got? So it's got patchouli, bergamot, sandalwood, vanilla, jasmine, cinnamon, vetiver, labdanum, cocoa, and ylang ylang. So it's very floral but very feminine, and it's all about bringing out the femininity and embracing that side of ourselves, which often, as you going further along on that journey, you feel you lose yourself in that. So that's another one I would absolutely say well worth having. Just any old way, pulse points everywhere. All over, just wear it anywhere. Honestly, there's so many, like rose, such an uplifting blend. It's beautiful, it really is. Gosh, I could go on and on and on with all the different oils, but I'm aware of time.
Well, what I love about the essential oils is, well, a few different things. Number one is that they can be used in so many different ways, like you mentioned. So you've talked about how you can put it in your water, you can apply it topically, you can.
Oh, you've frozen on me. I've lost you, Renata.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. Got you back.
Yay.
You froze on my screen for a while.
Okay,
yes,
hopefully it was a good
the
freeze.
Of DoTerra is because of their sourcing and the testing that they do. It's I would say it's the only brand of oils that is safe to do all 3 ways.
I love that.
Yeah.
And especially with the different types of essential oils that you mentioned, many of them are super calming, or simply the act of smelling them deeply and taking deep breaths allows you to do 2 things. Number one, it allows you to slow down. So you can really just allow your nervous system to regulate, or to down regulate perhaps. It helps you to boost your oxytocin, right? It helps you to just make sure that any stress that you're feeling on that particular day has a time to dissipate. And so that's one of the things that I love about the essential oils, because it just allows you almost that touch point during the day to remember to breathe, to remember to really get tuned into calmness instead of just being swept along by the stressors of the day. And this is really important for our hormones. In addition to obviously all the different ways that you can use the essential oils, it's really important for us because then we're lowering our cortisol, our stress hormone, which also has an impact to our sex hormones and to our insulin levels. So I just wanted to kind of like bring that home for all the ladies in the group too, to understand why the essential oils can be such a powerful tool in their hormone balancing toolkit.
That's it. Yeah, especially if you, the one great way to do it is put a drop or two in the palm of your hand, rub your hands together, and just take those 3 or 4 nice big deep breaths, closing the eyes, just holding your hands over the nose and mouth. It just slows everything down. It connects you back to yourself. And that's where I think probably my favorite oil comes in, is Balance, which is a really, it's known as our grounding blend. Lots of tree oils in it. And it is just, it's like walking through the forest. You know, it's beautiful. For me, it's one I use. I'll roll it on the bottom of my feet every night. I'll use it in the morning on behind my ears. That's just beautiful. Yeah, if you can't get out in nature, that's nature coming to you.
Oh,
It's
I love
amazing.
that. So in
Yeah.
addition to the essential oils, what other supplements are you incorporating day to day?
So I'd say we have a set of 3 different products called Lifelong Vitality. So it's the vitamins, minerals, oils, all sorts of things that come into that. I would not be without those. If I forget to take, I notice it. So I've got those. We also have a bone nutrient, phytoestrogen, probiotics I take every day. Excuse me, I've got absolute tickle in my throat now. Peppermint's not helped. And then I'll take also deep blue polyphenol complex, which is really good for just supporting the skeletal structure and the joint mobility and that kind of thing as well. So those I will always take. And then I think the one I would recommend most for everybody, we've got the new line of products called MetaPower, which is metabolic personal wellness realized. And these products are all about putting life back into longevity. Instead of just living a long life but not having the quality of life, it's putting the quality of life back in. So our advantage is the collagen, which is an absolute game changer for me. I've got 9 types of collagen. It comes in powdered form. You mix it in water and drink it down. But 140 to 200 mils of water is all you need. Drink it down straight away. It's so readily available. So it's not just skin, it's bone. Excuse me, so many different things. Now, one of the things that does happen when you go through menopause is the vaginal dryness. And it's really painful. MetaPower has reversed that for me.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Reverse. I don't have that anymore at all. So it's incredibly potent. It
Wow.
really is worth it. Emily Wright, who's one of the founders of doTerra, she related a story. She's been having a lot of surgery on her bone. She was wanting implants, but the bone was breaking down and not safe, so she had to have a crown instead, a bridge instead. She was doubling up on her MetaPower, and she was absolutely determined that this was going to help. And she went for another scan, and she could see that the doctor was not going to be any change.
Mm.
And he looked, and he looked again, and he looked at her, and he says, "I don't know what you're doing." He said, "But the bone's growing back."
Wow.
So this stuff works.
That's
It
amazing.
absolutely works. Yeah. It has so many different things that from the age of around 30 starts to deplete. It's NAD. I forget what the
Yep.
actual full name is, but it it will build that back up for you. So it's pretty potent, but the whole system comes together really nicely. We've got the oil, which is great for boosting the metabolism. And we've also got another product in that called MetaPower Assist, which you take about half an hour before a meal, and it stops the glucose spikes.
Mm,
It even instead of getting those highs and lows, it sort of takes it down to a gentle wave, so you don't get that aging that comes with those glucose spikes.
that's so
So
good.
yeah,
Mm.
those are the ones I'd say don't be without.
Well, what I love about that share is it relates so well to everything we've been discussing here in the Love Your Cycle program. So we've been talking about the importance of, obviously, like I mentioned before, slowing down, boosting the oxytocin in order to reduce
Mhm.
cortisol and impact your sex hormones. So that's really
Yeah,
important. And also noting that as we continue to age, just like you mentioned, we can oftentimes see a reduction in our metabolism. We oftentimes see
mhm.
things like increased weight gain as a result and different things like that related to blood sugar balance. And
Yeah,
so it relates so well because now we're really targeting things like insulin. We're looking at how
yeah,
well our insulin is affecting our blood sugar regulation. And so this is just a really great additional way to supplement what you're already doing with your food and nutrition by having a little bit of extra help. And I love that you
that's it.
talked about that because it really is so important for us as we continue to age, as we perhaps continue to get a little bit more sensitive to those changes in blood sugar levels, resulting in things like weight gain or, stubborn belly fat, etc. The more that we can do to help to regulate our blood sugar, the better. And so that for me is also a really important point, in addition to the collagen that you mentioned. And so collagen, obviously
Yeah,
being another form of protein, so great. Us women need to make sure we're getting enough protein every single day. And that's just such a simple and easy one to do. And I think that you mentioned as well that this particular collagen powder is not just one form of collagen.
there's nine types in it. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think that not many people recognize that there are different forms of collagen, and we need all those different kinds in order to have different forms of amino acids entering our body to be able to do things like repairing muscle fibers, et cetera, et cetera. So that's another really important point that I wanted to make.
absolutely. That's brilliant.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, Roz, is there anything else that you want to leave with the ladies? Perhaps one final thought of wisdom or something
Um,
that might be really inspiring for them as they continue on through their hormonal health journey?
I'd say just tune into how you're feeling. Often we look outside of ourselves for the validation, but it comes from within. It took me way too long to realize that. Um, so that for me is really important. Um, yes, we need our female friends, 100%. Have a good circle of people of your woman friends around you. They'll get you through so much. Men, most of them will understand, but oftentimes I've encountered 3 or 4 recently they just don't get what they're going through, and it saddens me because which is why we need the circle of female friends around us more and more, um, just to recognize and to be heard and to feel safe with people. So yeah, it comes within and your good circle of people around you.
I love that. Thank you so
Definitely.
much for sharing all of your wisdom. What I'm going to do is share all of your pertinent links below the video so that everyone can get in contact with you if they have additional questions. But in the meantime, thank you so much. I truly appreciate all your time and all of your tips as well.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. Been wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, ladies, that's it
Okay.
for today's live. If you have any questions for myself or Roz, make sure to drop them in the comments below and I will pass them on. And in the meantime, have an amazing rest of your Wellness Wednesday. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye.